My husband betrayed me with someone from my own family. The night I found out my husband had betrayed me with someone from my own family, I wasn't snooping. I was trying to print a coloring page for our 5-year-old. My husband, Ethan, had left his iPad on the kitchen counter. It was synced to his phone. As I waited for the printer to wake up, a notification popped up in the corner. Bianca, I miss you. When can we be us again? Bianca, my cousin. The girl I'd begged my parents to take in when she got kicked out by her mom. The one sleeping in our guest room. I watched as 3 dots appeared. Then Ethan's reply popped up. Soon, I just need Liv to calm down, you're worth it. Liv is me. Olivia. My stomach lurched so hard, I had to grab the edge of the counter. If you've ever had your world shift in one sentence on a screen, you know that feeling. I didn't scream. I didn't run upstairs and drag them both into the kitchen for a showdown. I made one small change. I hit the little arrow that said, show more, scrolled up, and realized this wasn't a one-off flirty text. It was months of messages that proved my husband and my own cousin had turned my house into their hiding place. At that moment, I still thought the worst part would be losing my marriage and the cousin I'd grown up with. I had no idea my own parents would look at those screenshots and say, she made a mistake. Are you really going to break up the family over this? If you were me, what would you have done? Stayed quiet to keep the peace? Or burned it all down? My name is Olivia, but everyone calls me Liv. I'm 31, and I live in a mid-sized town in Texas. On paper, a couple of years ago, my life looked like this. Married to Ethan for 7 years. One daughter, Harper, who was 5. Small house, big dog, okay jobs. Sunday dinners with my parents. Group chats full of memes. My family is the loud, we're in each other's business all the time type. We do. Big holidays. Birthday parties for everyone. Group vacations that sound fun until you remember your uncle still brings up what you did at 15. My cousin Bianca is 2 years younger than me. Her mom, my Aunt Sandra, had her at 19. Sandra was not great at the whole mom thing. A lot of boyfriends. A lot of drama. Not a lot of stability. So Bianca spent a lot of time at our house growing up. She'd crawl into my bed during thunderstorms. Borrow my clothes. Follow me around like a shadow. People used to say, those two are like sisters, not cousins. And it felt true. When we were kids, I loved that. Someone to share secrets with. Sneak ice cream with. Roll my eyes at old people with. When we got older, it got more complicated. I went to community college. Met Ethan in a math class. He was quiet, steady. The opposite of the chaotic boyfriends I'd seen around my cousin and aunt my whole life. We started dating. My parents loved him. Bianca liked him too. But back then, it seemed harmless. She'd say things like, Liv, how did you find a guy who actually buys tampons without complaining? He's a unicorn. Or, if you ever get bored with him, send him my way. With a laugh that I took as a joke. We got married when I was 24. Small church wedding. BBQ reception. Bianca was a bridesmaid. She cried harder than I did. When we had Harper 3 years later, she posted a picture holding her in the hospital and captioned it, my heart just doubled. Auntie B and Harper, forever. I believed her. I believed she loved us. When she called me at 27, sobbing, and saying, Aunt Sandra kicked me out, said I'm a burden, I have nowhere to go. My first instinct was to help, because that's what you do for family, right? Especially the ones you treated like a little sister. I talked to Ethan. We have a spare room, I said. It'll just be for a little while. She can get back on her feet. He hesitated. We already have a lot going on, he said. Harper, work, your parents. Are you sure you want another person in the house? She's family, I said, the way my parents had drilled into me my whole life. We can't just leave her out there. He sighed. Okay, he said, but let's set some ground rules and a time limit. We did. Bianca would pay a small amount toward bills once she got a job. She'd help with chores. 3-month max, then reassess. She moved in with 2 trash bags of clothes, a box of makeup, and a lot of tears. She hugged me so hard I couldn't breathe. You saved me, she said into my shoulder. I won't forget this. I wish she'd been right about that. At first, it was nice having another adult around. Bianca helped cook. Watched Harper so Ethan and I could have the occasional date night. Brought some chaos, but in a kind of fun way. She and Ethan got along. Too well in hindsight. They shared a sense of humor. They'd quote the same old movies. They were both night owls. Sometimes I'd fall asleep on the couch after putting Harper down and wake up to the sound of them laughing in the kitchen. "I should go to bed," Bianca would say, catching my eye. "We're just talking." And I'd say, "Yeah, okay." Because what else do you say when your husband and cousin are sitting 3 feet apart sharing memes? One night, I came into the living room to find Harper asleep on Ethan's chest and Bianca sitting on the floor between his legs, leaning back against the couch. They were watching a stand-up special. Her head brushed his knee every time she laughed. "Comfy?" I joked. She grinned. "Your couch is more comfortable than my entire last apartment," she said. "I'm soaking it in while I can." Ethan shifted his leg. Not much. Just enough that there was a little more space between them. A tiny move. I noticed. He caught my eye. A flicker of guilt? Or did I imagine that? "Later, in bed," I said. "Is it weird having her here all the time?" He sighed. "A little," he admitted. "She's a lot. But I know she's important to you." "Do you think she flirts with you?" I asked. He paused. "I think she flirts with every man she meets," he said. "It's like breathing for her. I ignore it." "Should I say something?" I asked. "I don't want to embarrass her." "You can," he said. "But you know how that'll go. She'll cry. Your parents will say we're picking on her again. Honestly, it's easier to just not engage when she does it." He had a point. Our family dynamic with Bianca had always been, she messed up. Everyone else cleaned it up. You weren't allowed to talk about it without being accused of being mean. So I let it go. Again. Do you see the pattern? Because looking back, it's like watching myself walk into a trap in slow motion. It really ramped up when Bianca got a job at the same company where Ethan worked. I'd helped her rewrite her resume. He'd put in a good word for her in customer service. "They're hiring," he'd said. "It's not glamorous, but it's a paycheck." She got the job. Suddenly, they were. Carpooling sometimes. Venting about the same annoying manager. Sharing inside jokes about coworkers. Over dinner, I'd hear, "Remember what Mike said in the meeting? You should have seen her face when you called out the mistake." And I'd smile, feeling like the third wheel in my own marriage. I told myself I was overreacting. This is what happens when family lives with you. Lines blur. You adjust. Then there were the clothes. Bianca started borrowing more of mine. At first it was, "Can I wear that black dress? I have a date." Then it was, "Oh, I grabbed your sweater, I hope that's okay." One Friday, she came downstairs in a blouse I'd worn on my first date with Ethan. His eyes flicked over her, then to me. "You look nice," he said. "To her or to me?" I joked, trying to make it light. He kissed my cheek. "You always look nice," he said. But he kept glancing back at Bianca. Little things. 5-second moments. Stacked up over months. You know how you can feel a room's temperature even if no one said anything? It was like that. One afternoon, Harper and I were in her room playing dress-up. She grabbed one of my old scarves, wrapped it around her shoulders, and said, "Look, Mommy, I'm Bianca. I sit with Daddy and laugh at jokes." It hit me in the gut. "What do you mean, baby?" I asked, keeping my voice casual. "She always sits by Daddy on the couch," Harper said, as if it were just a fact. "And they laugh. And you're in the kitchen." I swallowed. "You can sit with Daddy too," I said. "He's your daddy." "I know," she said. "But that's Bianca's spot. Kids notice. Even when you think you're subtle." That night, I tried again with Ethan. "I feel pushed out," I said. "Like you and Bianca have this whole thing I'm not part of. It makes me uncomfortable." He rubbed his face. "Liv, I'm not cheating on you," he said. "We're just close. She's like a sister." "She's not your sister," I said. "She's my cousin, and she's living in our house, and she has a history of blowing up every situation she walks into." He frowned. "You're being unfair," he said. "She's trying. She got a job. She helps with Harper. Why are you looking for problems?" "Because my gut is screaming," I said. "And every time I bring it up, I'm told I'm being dramatic. That sound familiar?" He sighed. "I'll put some more distance," he said. "Okay? I'll ride to work alone more. We'll make sure we're not sending the wrong message. But please don't turn this into something it's not." So I tried to believe him. To believe that what I was seeing was just two extroverts bonding. My own insecurity. I wish I'd believed myself instead. I didn't go looking for their messages that night with the iPad. That's what still messes with my head. It wasn't intentional snooping. It was printer not working. Husband's iPad nearest to hand. Me tapping the screen, waiting for it to connect. Then the notification popped up. Bianca, I miss you. When can we be us again? I stared at it. You know that feeling when your brain tries to reject what your eyes are seeing? Like, nope. Must be a wrong number. Or an inside joke. Or something else that still lets my life make sense. Then the preview expanded on its own. It's killing me being in the same house and having to pretend we're just cousins-in-law. My hands went cold. I watched Ethan's typing bubbles appear. Soon. I just need Liv to calm down. You're worth it. Worth what? Worth blowing up a marriage? Worth betraying someone who'd given you a room in their house? I tapped the thread. Scrolled up. Message after message. Bianca. She doesn't get you the way I do. Ethan. Please don't start that. Bianca. You said it yourself when we were at the lake. You feel more alive with me. Ethan. I said I felt like myself. That's not the same. Bianca. Same difference. Further up. Bianca. Last night was... Wow. Ethan. We can't keep doing that here. Bianca. Then take me somewhere else. You think I want to sneak around your living room forever? Ethan. I have a child here. Bianca. And? You think she doesn't already see who really makes you happy? A few messages were just photos of our dog on the couch with him, her complaining about work, him venting about bills, interspersed with, I wish I could fall asleep next to you without feeling guilty. And, I hate lying to her, but I can't imagine not having you now. I felt like I was going to throw up. I clicked the little I button to see when this thread started. 9 months ago. Almost the exact time Bianca had moved in. So much for a mistake that just happened. It was a relationship. Just one that used my life as its backdrop. If you were in my place, how much more would you have read? Would you have needed every detail? I scrolled enough to see. It had become physical months ago. They'd slept together in our house in a cheap motel in his car. They talked about me like I was an obstacle, not a person. Then I stopped. I backed up the conversation. Sent it to my own email. Subject line. In case I start wondering if I imagined this. I printed a few key pages. My hands were shaking as I fed the paper into the printer. Harper's unicorn coloring page sat forgotten in the tray. When Ethan came home that night, I was sitting at the kitchen table. Printouts in front of me. Heart pounding. He walked in, kissed my cheek automatically, then saw the papers. His face drained. What's that? He asked, voice too casual. Printer test, I said. Yours worked. Mine didn't. I slid the top page toward him. His eyes scanned the text. His shoulders sagged. There wasn't even a point where he tried to deny it. He just deflated. I can explain, he started. Can you? I asked. Because unless your explanation involves an evil twin, I'm not sure there's anything I haven't already seen. He sank into the chair across from me, put his head in his hands. I'm sorry, he said. I'm so sorry. How long? I asked, even though I already knew. 9 months, he said. Did it start before she moved in or after? I pressed. After, he said quickly. I swear. I never, before she was under our roof, it was just banter. Just banter, I repeated. My favorite phrase. There was a part of me that wanted to ask, what does she have that I don't? But I knew the answer wasn't about better or worse. It was about access. About the ugly little thrill of getting what you're not supposed to have. I thought about confronting Bianca first. Thought about dragging her downstairs, waving the papers, yelling. Then I pictured Harper's door. Her small ears. Her soft sleep. I thought about growing up in a house where adults fought loud and ugly and then called it passion and pretended nothing happened the next morning. I didn't want that for her. So, I did what my mom never did. I kept my voice low. My anger sharp, but contained. Pack a bag, I said. You're going to your brother's. Bianca will be gone by tomorrow. We will figure out custody and lawyers and property later. But tonight, you're both out of my house. He stared at me. Liv, please, he said. Can't we? You slept with my cousin, I said. In the house I invited her into because she had nowhere else to go. You turned my kindness into convenience. This is me saying, no more. He opened his mouth, closed it, nodded, went upstairs. Bianca texted me not 10 minutes later as if she'd felt the shift in the air. Everything okay? Ethan just went weird on me. I replied, No, Nothing is okay. Get out of my house. Her reply was instant. She found out? I sent her a photo of one of the printouts. No words. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Then, we can talk about this, she wrote. You don't have to throw away your entire marriage over one mistake. One mistake. Where had I heard that before? Right. Family dinners. Parent fights. Every time someone did something unforgivable. I didn't reply. I blocked her number. I heard doors upstairs. Drawers. Suitcases. The quiet thud of betrayal walking itself out. Divorcing Ethan hurt. Cutting off Bianca hurt. But the part that surprised me most was how much it hurt to realize my parents were more invested in the idea of family unity than in my actual well-being. I told them everything a few days later. We met at their house. No one else was there. Mom made coffee like she always does when she's bracing for drama. Dad paced. I laid the printed messages on the table. I'm divorcing Ethan, I said. He and Bianca have been having an affair for 9 months, while she lived with us, while Harper slept down the hall. My mom's face went through the stages. Shock, denial, refusal. No, she said. She wouldn't do that. She did, I said. I have proof. Dad scanned the pages. His jaw clenched. Jesus, he muttered. Mom shook her head. There has to be some explanation, she said. Maybe it was emotional. Maybe it just went too far once. Alcohol, stress. It was a full relationship, I said. Read it. She skimmed, winced at a few lines, then said the thing I dreaded and expected all at once. We can fix this, she said. Therapy, boundaries. You don't have to go straight to divorce and exile. Exile? Interesting word choice. Would you stay, I asked quietly, if Dad slept with Aunt Sandra for 9 months? She flinched like I'd slapped her. That's different, she snapped. How? I asked. Because we have 40 years together, she said. History, children, grandchildren. I have 7 years, I said. A house, a child, and a cousin who I treated like a sister who clearly thought that got her special access to my husband. Dad spoke up. Liv, no one is saying what they did is okay, he said. But Bianca is fragile. You know that. She's always had trouble. And Ethan... And I'm what? I cut in. The rock? The one who can be cracked over and over because my job is to hold up the family structure? Silence. If you blow this up, Mom said, holidays will never be the same. Harper will grow up split between houses. Your father and I will be caught between our daughters. Is that what you want? There it was. Guilt. Weaponized, as usual. It's already blown up, I said. I'm just refusing to stand in the blast radius and smile. You're overreacting, she said. People recover from infidelity. Bai gets addicted to attention. This isn't new. We always pulled her back before. We can again. I'm not interested in playing rehab facility for them, I said. I'm interested in not modeling to my kid that being betrayed by the people closest to you is just another Tuesday in the name of family. Dad's voice softened. What about Bianca? He asked. She doesn't have anyone else. She had me, I said. I gave her a room when no one else would. She chose what she chose. She can live with the consequences. Mom's eyes filled with tears. You'd really cut off your own cousin? She whispered. She cut herself off when she chose my husband, I replied. I'm just acknowledging it. Think about Harper, he said. She loves her aunt. Harper loves the version of Aunt Bianca she saw, I said, the one who read stories and brought glitter. She doesn't know about the version who texts her dad about how she wishes I'd disappear. That's on us to change by not putting that version in front of her. Mom threw her hands up. I don't know how we raised such a rigid child, she said. Where is the grace? The understanding? I laughed. Cold. You raised me to believe my feelings didn't matter compared to the family's comfort, I said. This rigidity is called boundaries. I got them in therapy, not in your kitchen. That stung. Good. We left it there. Messu. Unresolved. In the following weeks, I started seeing who really had my back. My Aunt Sandra Bianca's own mom called me privately. I can't say I'm shocked, she said. She's always gone after what wasn't hers. I'm sorry it was yours this time. Are you keeping her? I asked. She sighed. She's my kid, she said. I'll always talk to her, but I'm not going to tell you to forgive and forget. That's above my pay grade. You do what you need to stay sane. Harper needs at least one adult who won't gaslight her about reality. It was the most honest thing Sandra had ever said to me. Some of my cousins texted, "We're with you." What she did is messed up, no excuses. Others stayed quiet. Silence speaks too. Ethan moved out. We filed for divorce. He cried during mediation. Admitted everything. Didn't fight me on custody. Didn't show up at any family events again, which honestly was a blessing. Bianca tried a few times to get to me. She sent long emails about how we fell in love. We didn't mean to hurt you. Love is messy. Posted vague quotes on Instagram about women tearing down other women. I blocked her everywhere. If she wanted to baptize herself in inspirational quotes about healing, she could do it without me as her sermon topic. It's been almost 3 years since I found those messages on the iPad. 3 years since. I asked my husband and cousin to leave my house. My parents accused me of breaking the family. My life now is smaller on paper, bigger in all the ways that matter. I live in a little townhouse with Harper. There's crayon on the wall behind the couch, a dying plant I keep forgetting to water, a fridge covered in school art and custody schedules. Ethan and I co-parent. We exchange texts about pickup times, photos on birthdays, quick nods at school events. We are not friends. We are not enemies. We are two adults who share a child and a painful history. Sometimes, I see him at drop-off with a new girlfriend. Early days. I don't judge her. I hope he's learned something. Harper is 8 now. She knows. Mommy and Daddy don't live together. Aunt Bianca did something that hurt Mommy's feelings a lot, and we're not close right now. Age appropriate. No extra venom. I don't need her to hate anyone on my behalf. I just need her to see that when someone hurts you, you're allowed to step away. And yes, she's asked, do I have other aunts? I tell her, you have lots of people who love you. Some we see a lot, some we don't. That's a grown-up decision. Your job is to be a kid. My relationship with my parents is limited. We do. Occasional Sunday lunches. Texts about neutral things. We do not do. Joint holidays. Big everyone. Gatherings where Bianca might be. Mom still sometimes says things like, families are complicated, with a little pointed look like I'm the one making them that way. Dad mostly just hugs me and says, I'm proud of you, even when I don't understand all of it. That's enough, for now. Therapy has been my lifeline. Unlearning. Family first at all costs. You're selfish if you say no. Blood is thicker than self-respect. My therapist said something early on that I keep taped inside my journal. It's not your job to keep the family together. It's your job to keep yourself together so you can raise your kid in a healthier family, even if that family is just the two of you. I read it whenever guilt creeps in. Because yes, the guilt still tries. When I see cousins posting big reunion photos, friends doing sisters' trips with matching shirts, a small voice in me whispers, maybe you overreacted. Maybe you should have forgiven for Harper. Then I remember my daughter repeating, that's Bianca's spot, about the couch next to her dad. The texts about how they wished I'd calm down so they could be us. My mother's first instinct being to preserve the family image, not my sanity. And the doubt shrinks. Not gone, but small enough that I can step over it. If you're in a situation where your partner and someone in your family betrayed you, and now everyone's chanting, forgive for the sake of the family, I want you to hear this. You are part of the family too. Your safety, your peace, your sleep at night, those count as the family just as much as group photos and holiday traditions. Sometimes the bravest, kindest thing you can do for the next generation is show them that you don't have to keep people in your life just because they share your last name. Harper and I have new traditions now. Movie Fridays with popcorn on the floor. Painting our nails terrible colors. Making tiny family drawings where sometimes it's just her, me, and the dog. Last week, her class did a project where they had to write, who is in your family, on a poster board. She drew me, herself, a small, happy dog. She asked, is it okay if I don't draw everyone, like Grandma and Grandpa and Daddy? The teacher said we can pick who we want. If you want to add them, you can, I said. If you want it to just be us and the dog, that's okay too. Family is who feels like home. She thought for a second. Drew a tiny version of her dad in the corner with an arrow that said Dad's house, and a big version of us in the middle. Then she smiled. This is right, she said. It looks like my real life. And standing in the hallway, watching her tape that poster to the classroom wall, I realized it doesn't matter how many people I cut off, or who thinks I broke the family. What matters is that my kid's picture finally lines up with her reality, not with what anyone else wishes it looked like. A few nights ago, after a long day of work and homework and spilled milk, Harper and I were curled up on the couch reading. She closed her book, looked at me very seriously, and said, "Mom, if someone in my family ever hurts me, are you going to believe me, even if it's someone you love?" My chest tightened, but my answer came out steady. "Yes," I said. "Especially then." She nodded like she'd just checked off an important box in her head, snuggled closer, and went back to her story. And in that quiet, ordinary moment, I knew, whatever I'd lost by walking away from people who betrayed me, I'd gained something bigger, a daughter who never has to wonder whose side I'm on.